We are back now with an Emmy-nominated actor who's been a staple on our screens and in our hearts since the 80s.
You added the hearts, and I second that. We all came to know Malcolm-Jamal Warner after his breakout role as Theo Huxtable, of course. And since then, Malcolm has showcased his talents, including most recently in dramas like Accused and the first responder series 911.
Well, Malcolm is also a Grammy-winning recording artist. His new project is a podcast called Not All Hood, or Nah for short.
When we talk about the black community, we tend to talk about the black community as a monolith. But there's so many levels and factions of the black community. And what we want to do with this podcast is to really, acknowledge and talk about the different facets of being black.
Malcolm-Jamal Warner, it is good to see you.
You as well.
Oh, my gosh.
I feel like I've spent so much of my life in this building. Like,
grew up
I've lived here. Yeah, I grew up here. Yeah,
You really did.
You guys grew up
We grew up together.
Yeah.
A lot more like his dad. But here's the thing. I mean, you have so much experience in front of the camera, behind the camera, and yet you say doing not what you do with two other hosts.
Yeah.
You feel you're most vulnerable. Well, why is that?
Yeah, well, I think, one, because I'm hosting it with two friends of mine, Wayusi Baraka and Candace Kelly. And, we have created a safe space for the three of us to really talk and be honest about, the things that, we feel about, the community and what have you. So there are times where, I know there are things that I say that won't necessarily jive with, a lot of people. But this is a place where we want to be able to discuss all lanes of the black community. And, all of those lanes don't necessarily agree all the time, but this is a place where we can have civil discourse and respectful challenge.
What
Very
a
few
great
of those
idea.
places left.
Yeah. And this is the place we wanted to be able to do that because, I mean, obviously my history, the way I came, into this business was a show that had such an impact on culture, everything, right? Like white America, black America, America. And just as that show and that family cannot represent all of black people, right? Just like Good Times cannot represent all of black people. There's so many of those lanes that coexist.
Yeah.
And even within those different lanes of the black community, we can acknowledge each other, and even if we don't agree, we can still acknowledge that respectfully, that we are all part of the black culture.
I admire that so much. You could have easily been like, drop the mic, I'm good, I'm for everybody, for the culture, I did this. But you've expanded, you got music, this podcast, poetry. Where did all of that come from? What in your upbringing helped you realize that you can do all of those things and keep evolving, if you will?
I think a lot of it had to do with my mom. I tell the story all the time, and I'll continue to tell it till my dying day.
We haven't heard it.
When Cosby first hit, I was 14 years old, and the numbers were. It was a phenomenon out the box.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'm 14, and my mom says to me, "Listen, baby, it's great that this show is the phenomenon that it is, but you know how this business is. This show could be over next year." She said, "What are you going to do when the show's over?" She said, "I can type. I can always get a job. But what are you going to do when the show's over?" So it's always had me thinking about longevity and knowing that being seen as a child star and then being taken seriously as an adult actor may not be a smooth transition. So I was always thinking about life after Cosby.
And she was your manager.
She was my manager for a long time.
Pamela knew what she was talking about.
Man, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
And not just here, but so many iterations of you. Like I was a Malcolm Daddy fan.
Oh, yeah, so many iterations.
Yes.
And I've got my head on straight, my soul and dignity is intact. Like, I've had a really wonderful journey, and a lot of that really had to do with, my mom and my dad as well.
The topics on the podcast. What do you got? What are some of the topics you guys cover?
Oh man! So the first episode just dropped yesterday, and there's a whole big thing about use of the N-word.
And, y'all go there.
Oh yeah. Oh no. It's the clip went viral. Like, people on social media are. Again, many of them agreeing, many of them disagreeing. We talk about twerking. We talk about mental health in the black community.
This is great.
Taboo subject. So we cover a lot of ground.
I
You
love
got
that.
Father's Day coming up.
Yeah,
and
happy
your
Father's
7-year-old
Day.
Yeah,
daughter.
thank you. I'm actually gigging. I've got a poetry gig in Atlanta at City Winery.
Really?
Yeah, poetry versus hip hop.
Any inspiring words for us as we go to commercial?
Wow, sure. Wow.
Put you on the spot there.
Vulnerability can be a scary thing, even when we're on the mend. Black boys boast bravado not to seem broken, and often so do black men.
All right.
I don't know how much more time I have. I got home more, but
Malcolm-Jamal Warner, it is so good to see you.
hey, you too.
good.
Please
Yeah,
come
you
back.
too, brother.
The Not All Hood podcast is available to stream right now wherever you get your podcast.
Nah.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.